Hello and welcome to Dash 28 Live. I am your host, Mike Adkins, and today we are bringing you a quarterfinal match from the King's Cup single elimination tournament between Sergey Kovrov and James Mitchell. Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for being here. Joining me today, we have Thomas Alexanderson and John Quayle. Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for being here. You guys are going to be playing a 2,000-point game of Invade, again for the quarterfinal round of the King's Cup, which we'll have Thomas talk a little bit more about the details of the event later for those of you that haven't been following along. But first, let's talk about these lists. So first list up is James. James is playing Sylvan Kin. And James, could you talk us through your list, please?
Having a bad day.
Yeah, I can. So I've got Kindred Greystalkers here with Fire Oil. I actually found them really useful against things like Naiads. I've got Hunters of the Wild, who are naked, 2 Forest Shamblers, 2 Silverbreeze Cavalry, Storming Cavalry with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding, a Tree Herder, and the Wiltfather combination. And then I've got Army Standing Bear with Loot of Insatiable Darkness, and I've got Elven Archmage with Boomstick and Lightning Bolt 5.
All right. And that is 11 drops and 18 unit strength, so a little bit on the elite side. And I say that, but next we have Sergey's Forces of Nature. Yes. Sergey, could you talk us through your list, please?
Okay, thank you. So at first, I took Naiad Ensnares with Hammer of Measured Force. In my opinion, it's quite good anvil in this list. Then I took 2 hordes of Forest Shamblers with 5 points artifacts such as Fire Oil and Healing Brew. Just for some points. Then I took 3 Beasts of Nature because, in my opinion, this list needs some heavy flyers unit, not as Pegasus or so on. Then I would like to test 2-3 herders combo. One of them is Wildfather, obviously, because he buffs other trees a bit. The other 3 herder takes Blessings of the Gods for rerolling ones, for hits, and for, in some cases, for search spell. And last but not least, it's Kapoka, of course, because his phalanx aura for trees and sometimes for beasts of nature is very good.
All right.
This list has low unit strength, just 15, but in my opinion, he can play different missions with objectives, and maybe this one. I don't know.
All right. Well, we will find out. It is a bit of a mirror match, seeing as how we've got double Wiltfathers and Tree Herders on each side. But let's take a look at your Universal Battle Room now to see what you guys are dealing with here. So this is the standard map for this round of the event. Is that right?
Come on, is this you, Thomas? Is this the standard map, is it?
It's, yes.
Okay.
I'm nodding very carefully there.
Okay, sorry, couldn't tell. All right, so it looks like there's one big forest in the middle. You've got 2 pieces of impassable kind of over here on the right side, and two obstacles right there next to it. You got a couple of hills, and then you've got a forest and a pond kind of up near the top.
Mhm.
It looks like James is deployed across the top, and Sergey is deployed across the bottom. Yeah. So James, could you talk us through your deployment, please, starting over here on the left?
Do you mean like where I put stuff down, or what I'm trying to do?
No,
So
just what the units are. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got Storm and Cavalry on the flank here. Can you see the mouse? Or okay, so on the flank I've got Storm and Cavalry next to Silverfreeze Cavalry, and then I've got Tree Herder, Wiltfather next to Tree Herder. I've got 2 Forest Shamblers. I've got Kindred Glaystalkers, Elfin Archmage next to the Glaystalkers, and then inspired by Army Battle Bearer next to the Hunter of the Wild and Silverbreeze.
Yeah, so, all right, cool. And then down at the bottom we have Sergey. Sergey, could you talk us through your deployment, starting over here on the left with your beast?
Yes, of course. So first is Beast of Nature, then Forest Shamblers with Healing Brew, 3 Herder with Elite, Forest Shamblers with Fire Oil, Naiad and Snare Sword behind of them, then Wildfather, second Beast of Nature behind of Wildfather, Kapoka, and then the third one, Beast of Nature.
The last beast. All right, great. All right, thanks so much. Again, you guys are going to be playing Invade, so thanks for talking through your lists and your deployment. Good luck to both of you, and we will see you back here when you're done with your game.
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, good luck, boys.
Yeah.
Good luck.
May the best tree win.
Leave studio button is down the bottom of the middle. There we go. Yep.
Where's the leaf?
Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, so very interesting. The scout roll is going to be huge here, isn't it?
It is going to be massive.
Yeah.
When I say very interesting, it's not going to be interesting, say, over a long period of the game. This could be quite quick.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Yeah, so they are playing Invade. Do the units with the stars on them, do those mean something for the event, Thomas?
I guess it's one-use items,
Okay.
like Strider and the Healing Brew.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. It's
That's
really interesting the way that Sergey's kind of just deployed in one compact block, which is no more than say about 12 inches wide, and he's put his cards on the table. He's just gone, that wood. I want that wood.
And James has kind of deployed all of his shooting stuff over to the right side, kind of behind a hill, where he could just, I guess, walk like his mage and his glade stalkers and all that, just kind of prop them up there and start shooting, and his hunters of the wild, and just shoot for however long they can. But they're going to be shooting pretty defensible units in trees, probably.
Yeah.
So
they're not going to do a huge amount of damage, but at the same time, unless the beasts of nature go after them, they're pretty safe, aren't they? So
yeah.
It's really interesting from my point of view is that it's gone so tight. With the beast of nature, I would have been tempted to maybe spread them out a little bit, just to threaten flanks and stop James from coming all the way down, and also he still can concentrate on the wood and then jump in at the last minute, but he may have a better plan than he's. These guys have done pretty well in the tournament so far, haven't they, Thomas?
Yeah, they are done. Yeah, they come as far as they had, so obviously they have defeated all their opponents. Sergey was, I think, however, one of the lucky losers. So he actually lost his first game, but as there was uneven number of players, someone had to once get a second chance for round 2.
Okay.
I don't remember about James though.
Okay, but for this event, for the King's Cup event, this is basically a single elimination bracket. Is the way you're running this event, right?
Yes, correct. Except round 1 where I had to even the field. There is a single elimination bracket. Yeah, you win your once, you lose, you're out. Simple as that. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was to, for one, give me a bit less work towards the end of the tournament. And also, I think it helps since it was a tournament running during the summer. I don't think everyone wants to commit to playing games all summer. So for people, I assume it was easier for people to commit to maybe 2 or 3 games rather than 5 or 6. And obviously, if they're doing well, they want to continue because they can win. And even so, if someone wants to drop out because of reasons, it doesn't hurt the tournament so much because the other player can just advance. It doesn't matter on the points or anything.
Yes, yeah. And it is a problem, isn't it? Especially when, I think to a certain extent, I think we've all got to the point where we want to play in real life, don't we now? You want to actually go and talk to somebody across the tabletop and move some miniatures around. We've played UB2 now for how long? I mean, we must have been doing this for 18 months, 21 months, something like that.
Yeah.
What do we reckon? When did you start doing this, Mike?
Oh, like last April, I think. April or May, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So that makes it about 16 months, doesn't it? Which is,
Mm-hmm.
We've had a fair good batch at it. And there's still some more games, but it's nice just to get back to
I
real
think I
life.
was in the first Call to Arms tournament that started this whole UB tournament bonanza.
Yeah, I think so. Like so just so you guys know, they are having a little bit of a technical problem with UB. Sergey is trying to reload it. We might have to bail out and have them make a new room, but we'll find out here in a couple minutes. But that is what the holdup is.
Yep. Hopefully they can at least save the game and then reload it as it was.
Yeah. Hopefully, if not, we can at least get a screenshot of the table and they can just put their units where they're supposed to be and get started. So apologies for that. Hopefully they can get started here in a minute. I think I usually run my tournament, my in-person tournament in April. And I had been dragging my feet on whether I had to cancel it last year or not. And then it was pretty clear that I was going to have to cancel it. So immediately upon coming to that decision, I was like, all right, well, time to figure out how to play on UB. And Call to Arms was just starting. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this. Because I need something to distract me from the sadness of having canceled your in-person tournament that you run every year. So I feel like it was right around April when we got started doing all this stuff.
So we suddenly has a square table instead of a regular one. If you see
it look that problem. That happens every so often in UB, doesn't it? It happens every so often. It just doesn't load properly. Don't get that in real life. Imagine having like a 6 foot by 6 foot table. You just gotta
keep it leaning over.
Hang on. You need. I always wanted to do like a game of Kings of War where you played it a little bit like they did the War Room.
With the shuffleboard things or whatever, the long sticks, slide things around.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called. I'm sure those things have a specific name, but I don't know what it is. The long sticks with little brackets on the end. Slide things around.
If it was me, just big sticks. Call them big sticks. I think because you can shout across the room, pass me the big stick. I don't know if you've ever played like I know obviously Americans they play pool, but you ever play snooker?
No, but I've heard of it.
Because the snooker table is obviously, well, not obviously, but it's like twice the size I think of an American pool table. What you end up with happening is you've got extensions. So you've got basically like an extension that goes on the end of your cue, so you can hit something right at the end of the table, and then you've got another extension just in case it's really, really far down. So just imagine somebody on the other side trying to move something on this war board and going, just pass me the the extra extension. And it's like almost 30 feet long. Just go, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I don't think. Usually American-sized pool tables, there's a bridge, which is the extender with the little bracket thing for you to lay the end of the cue on, so you can lean it over the table. But that's only the length of a regular cue. It's not super duper long.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I think they might be sorting it out. I think they might be sorting it out.
Yeah. And the biggest problem perhaps is the board is also wider than usual, I think. It seems like everything is going in the middle as if it was dominate anyway, so...
I'll be honest, if they actually go anywhere near the edge of the board in this game, I'd be concerned. But I don't think that's going to be a problem right at this stage. So you look at it and go, I know where the fight's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we could fill this with like a halfling talk. Should we just talk halflings for about 20 minutes? We could do that, you know.
We could. We are trying to put together a halfling demo game for this weekend to see if we can find somebody that's been playing them for a while, maybe from the test group, who can show people what to expect from a halfling list. So if we get enough folks together for that, we might stream that on like Saturday or Sunday. I guess not Sunday. I'm busy on Sunday. Someone else wants to host it. We can do it on Sunday. But yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, Elliot's thinking about taking. He's committed himself for Clash of Kings in UK to getting a halfling army together and paint that. Or at least he's committed to a few people who's going to do that. I mean, admittedly, he's a member of the Northern King, so he's used to basically putting a lot of stuff together and using like contrast paints and just painting,
right.
you know, hundreds of miniatures in one go, right?
Right. Okay. So I think they might be.
I think they're going backwards and forwards a little bit, aren't they? Yeah. They might have to suck it up and just play in a square table.
I suggested save the game and start a new room and load the game.
Yep.
So I'll stay in the room just for now, so they don't lose it.
Okay. And I will exit out of it and try to find the new one. Again, my apologies to anybody watching.
They get more of us, right? You know, as far as we're concerned, this game could be over very quickly. So
it could be.
They want an average portion of us, don't they? Not a small portion.
Same problem. I guess it's because they're loading the map.
Best maybe tell them to load the the map again from wherever it's saved, because that might actually then just adjust the map itself.
I did that, but then probably the map adjusted to the save. Okay, they sorted it. But yeah, I was just thinking maybe if you reload the map with the correct size.
There you go. It seems to have done. They've seemed to have done it on the chat there, and it seems to have worked for them.
Okay, I just need to find.
Bring the new room back up over here.
And I almost.
Gosh.
Almost.
I don't know. I think
password out loud, and we shouldn't.
Yeah, don't do that.
I still think we should have had like a soundbite from "Welcome to the Jungle," right? You know, just have that as everybody just runs forward into the wood in the middle,
or like the Tarzan yell or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
would be very good. I don't know. I think the halfling list looks fun. I know a lot of people like immediately started picking out things that they thought might be overpowered or might be a problem. But a lot of those things sound very local meta dependent to me. Because anytime any changes get made or any lists come out, like the southeast of the US is famous for having a very shooting heavy meta. So anytime any changes come out, they're the first people to look at it and say, well, here's how you can turn this into a gun line. We're like, yes, here's how you're going to turn this into a gun line, because that's what you guys do with everything. That doesn't mean everyone's going to do it. So, mileage will vary. But I think I like what they've tried to do with it. Like, it's a very different play style army with all the overlapping auras and synergies and the bonuses and stacking as much you can on kind of lackluster troops to make them competitive. So no, I'm interested in seeing what it does,
I
and
think
also
people
like
have missed a lot of that. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, and if this is like a preview of the sorts of things we can expect to see in the Clash of Kings book this year, then Dash 28 will have lots of things to write about for a very long time, because we're going to have to re-review all of the armies, basically, to re-rate all of the units and everything after they shuffle them all around so much.
If that's one thing, me and Thomas having the inside knowledge on this is that, yes, there's going to be some huge changes. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun because everybody's going to have something to play with, which is great. It's going to, if anything, it's almost like having another edition. It is that much stuff that's being added.
Right.
At the moment, it could change, but it's looking really good. I can't kind of wait till November now. We're kind of like going, oh, I want to play it now. I want to just use it now. And we're going to have to, after a while, start playtesting, go back to real life. I imagine this is what drug addicts are like. I can't deal with reality. I need more. Give me more. I like what's happened is that they've made one important role. This is probably the biggest role for this game, isn't it? Is
right.
Who gets
the
scout first?
Who's going to get that forest?
Right.
I think
And
maybe
James has
that's
got a
why.
6.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why Sergey had so many beasts of nature up there. Just try to deny James going into the forest.
But that doesn't deny it because it's still a frontal charge. Beast of Nature worked really well at just protecting flanks. So if he had a Beast of Nature just kind of 12 inches to the left and 12 inches to the right, anything that kind of, maybe even further, anything that kind of lands left or right of that wood, you're exposing a flank because you can't, with all the scouting units that it's got no nimble. So they're all going to be charging forward, let's say, to get into the wood 8 to 10 inches. And then all of a sudden the Beast of Nature are eyeing them up going, hey, I got you, all right? Flank charge from a Beast of Nature is nothing to laugh at.
No, that is definitely what you want to do with them.
Ask Keith Conroy, There
you go. Or just watch the matches, and you'll see. You don't have to ask him. So it seems like they are still having a bit of technical difficulty. That is not Sergey rage quitting after James rolled a 6 for the scout move.
He's keeping that 6, isn't he? I'm not rolling that again. It's a 6.
It's a 6. It's important. I'm standing on that. No, they're just having all kinds of trouble with UB. So we'll see if now it actually lets Sergey roll dice. And if it is, then hopefully we'll be off to the races. And if not, then again, I apologize for the delay in the game start here. But technical difficulties.
Building the tension, though. It's all building the tension. We're all.
It is.
It's all going to be, and it'll be over.
Yep. It is definitely a critical role coming up. I hope that's not trademarked.
Oh,
it's a tie.
6.
Oh shit!
Sergey got it.
All right. So on the reroll, Sergey gets first scout move, and yes, you do not need to adjust your set or anything. That is basically his entire army standing here waiting to scout into the lone forest in the middle of the table for the invade scenario. So,
it's what do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to go, right, I'm going to get into the wood so I can see everything the other side of the wood? Or do you think he's going to go just scout up enough to stop James from going into the wood? What do you reckon? Do you think he's just going to go balls deep and just go, all right, go on?
I mean, I don't I don't really play armies with a ton of scout. And so in the scenario where like both of you have scout and both of you have such hardy units that can scout, like I've got no experience with this, so I don't know what the right strategy is for it.
This is interesting. They're playing a proper game of like chess. Who's going to take the wood first? Well, I've scouted something that's not going in the wood. Oh, I've scouted something that's not going in the wood. Oh,
yeah.
This is proper mind games. I like it.
So they didn't actually want to win the roll.
So they rolled and I guess decided that whoever won the roll got to tell the other guy to move something first because
no, I think he moved. I don't know. He might have moved the Hunters of the Wild, and he might have moved the Kindred Gladestalkers. But Kapoka's moved as well.
Kapoka's
already done his thing,
and the Hunters have moved. I just couldn't tell which one of them moved first. And then there's the Willed Father, Sergey's Willed Father, I should say, because there's 2 of them on the field.
We gonna call one of them something else, like the Tilt Father or something like that, you know. Just because he makes people tilt, you know, Tilt Father, right? No,
Yeah.
okay. It's not going to catch on. I'll give up. Where's my coat?
Oh,
You never know.
here he comes. He can see through the forest with that one.
Okay. Yep. So
They're
that
in
is.
range of each other, aren't they? Is that right? Wilt Father on Wilt Father action.
It's got to happen.
Father on Wilt Father, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kenzie is in range. It's got to happen. If there is no epic Wilt Father duel in the forest, then I move that both of these guys be removed from the bracket. Just take them out of the tournament.
Yes.
When the opportunity's there and you don't take it, just screw you. You're out. You're playing the game wrong.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's the thing is though, I have to give it. He's gone really with it with the elite on the other tree herder. So he's got an elite vicious tree herder. So that is that's you're talking 7 to 9 damage every turn with that. A flank from that guy. Ooh, you don't want to be there, do you? And I think in terms of if you're looking at tree versus tree, Sergey's obviously gone a little bit further into it with Kapoka. Although he's not going to have a big impact on the tree versus tree combat, he does negate the Silver Breeze coming in the front. Oh, sorry, the Silver Breeze, what they call it, the Stormwind.
Well, he's got both.
He's got both. But if you throw Silver Breeze into the front, it's usually so that you don't, something else doesn't die.
Right.
But I think he's got. I think weakness could be really key in this because Kapoka's got weakness, weakness 3, which is really reliable. So you may see some key combats where he weakness either the Forest Shamblers or a Tree Herder just to get a little advantage.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So it looks like Sergey is staying cagey and staying out of the forest, but has moved everything up enough so that everything can pile on that Wolf Father if they want to. Turn 1.
You know what? I completely missed those things. The things that look like statues are actually his beasts of nature, aren't they?
Yes.
I thought they were in the middle. Oh.
Yeah, no. He put 2 out to the flanks. Not like all the way out to the flanks, but out like this one over here is covered by the building because that's where all the shooting ended up. And you don't want your beast to get two elf regiments and a guy with a boomstick shooting at him. Stop at turn 1.
See, I made my early commentary moot, but yeah, I think he's got the beast nature in the right place. See, this is this. Look, like if Sergey gets first turn,
they still can't do more than a double charge.
Yeah, but a double charge with a vicious
Tree Herder and Wilt Father,
and a Wilt Father going in, causing 1 point of damage with the aura. What's a Wilt Father on? He's nerve 19, isn't he? He could easily push him up to about a 5 or a 6 on the nerve roll. And if he can kill the Wilt Father in 1 turn, that is going to be seismic.
Yeah, I mean, it is super tempting bait to scout your Wilt Father up and just barely tip a toe in the forest, knowing that your opponent's entire army is basically going to be right there. All right, so here comes first turn roll, and looks like Sergey won first turn.
Oh. But yeah, it's interesting that James kept everything else out of the forest, so Sergey cannot block up anything that wants to countercharge.
Yeah. So now here's the question: does he go all in and just try to gank the Wilt Father top of turn 1, or does he try to maneuver for like a surge charge next turn?
What's the math on it? You'd be talking probably. Actually, no. I'm probably highballing it with his defense 6. So you're probably talking more about 5 to 7 damage, something like that, because you'd be hitting him on 3s, rerolling 1s, damaging on 3s, rerolling 1. So, although my regular opponent, if he takes an elite vicious unit, which is on 3s and 3s, somehow he always seems to get 90% damage. So maybe I'm just bitter about it, and I feel that that's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
but it would be a big point. It'd be very risky.
11 damage, including Cloak of Death.
So that's an 8 on the roll, isn't it? It's not.
They can easily spike and do a couple of more wounds, and then Well,
What are the Stormwind? What are they able to see? Have they got an arc to the front of the Wiltfather?
yeah, definitely if they combo charge him.
They combo charging, yeah. Okay.
If it goes in with a single unit, I maybe not. But yeah, hard to tell. Let's see.
You cover for me. I need a little boy's room.
All right. All right. So their clock is running. The blue timer is Sergey as he's going first. And we are now finally off to the races. So again, sorry for the delay, folks. But I think we are ready to begin. Sergey has first turn. That is across the bottom of the screen. He's playing Forces of Nature. And we are playing Invade at 2,000 points. And if you've ever wanted to see what happens when with a tree herder versus tree herder, Wiltfather versus Wiltfather, all scouting, all shambling mirror match, then this is the game for you right here, because that's what we're looking at. James again's got is playing Sylvankin, so he's got the elf units, some elf cav, some chaff, and some shooting unit. And Sergey's playing Forces of Nature, and he's got triple beasts and a horde of ensnarers with the Hammer of Measured Force. So the scout moves were a little. I don't know whether to call these conservative scout moves, because they didn't both just barrel all their units into the woods like on the scout moves. So now it'll be interesting to see what Sergey does here, because he does have first turn.
It seemed like the scout move, especially the Kapoka, was very planned, because after the scout move, everything was in Kapoka's aura for phalanx.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that
like
it mattered much since Silver Beast was out of range. Stormwind Cavalry was out of range, but I think it's probably a practice move he has done for several games.
Yeah, that might very well be his standard opening of just, this is what it looks like after I'm actually done deploying, right? Once I scout everything up. Okay, so he's taking that back. He had moved his, I guess that would give the Cav a flank charge the way he had moved them the first time. Nope, can't go that far. Can't see that guy. So the James's Wiltfather is in the woods and therefore is visible to everything on Sergey's center there. But I don't know whether he's going to take that bait, because he might not pop the Wiltfather.
No, and I think what he was trying to do is line up a flank charge with the Forest Shamblers. But a flank charge with crushing one on a force to hit on the Wiltfather, what you're talking about, that's 6 damage, and you're going, all right,
then you're stuck, and you've got his tree herder on your flank of your Forest Shamblers, ready to take them off.
Silver Breeze, like Stormwind. I keep getting Silver Breeze and Stormwind. Stormwind into the rear, you're going to lose the Forest Shamblers.
Yep. And again, they are playing Invade, and these are two pretty elite, pretty low unit strength lists, even 2,000 points. You got 11 drops on James's side and 9 drops on Sergey's side, 18 unit strength to 15 unit strength. So, losing your higher unit strength units could really hurt you.
Yeah, I said Sergey's got the advantage in the trees. I think he is, and he's become so elite with this. He doesn't have anything to throw away, not easily at all. So he doesn't have the option of saying, right, I'm going to concentrate on something and then block the rest of it. He doesn't have that Gerpanther unit that he just puts in front of the Forest Shamblers and go, all right, you've got a turn to deal with these guys. What do I deal with? Because it'd be perfect opportunity here, wouldn't it? Just throw something in front of the other tree herder, block up the flank from the Silver Breeze Stormwind Cavalry, and just basically just go, right, yeah, look, there we go. I've got the opportunity to charge the Wiltfather, did a load of damage, didn't kill him, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to lose 2 tree herders in return. I mean, how much do you think it's actually...
Do we got double? Do we got that charge? 3 herder on Wiltfather.
How much do you think it's how they don't necessarily know how to deal with a corresponding army? So pretty much the same army that they're using fighting each other.
The mirror match, yeah. You don't see them a lot in Kings of War because there's so many armies and they're all so well balanced. You don't get a lot of mirror matches.
Yeah.
At least compared to my experience playing Warhammer Fantasy, where there were a couple of editions where there were basically only 3 or 4 armies worth playing. So those were the ones you ended up playing over and over again at tournaments. I remember I went to one 5-game Warhammer Fantasy tournament and I played Undead 3 out of 5 games.
Was it possibly with Black Knights with 3 Vampire Lords in the front? Was it? You know, that kind of thing?
Something like that, yeah.
One of them carrying the thingy banner that just gave them an invulnerable save against all magic.
Yeah, I mean, I can't...
You know,
I can only complain so much because I was playing Dark Elves with the Mind Razor thing and the Horde of Witch Elves and the Horde of Corsairs that are all frenzied and shit. So like I was likewise bringing filth, but yeah, like I don't know that I've played the same army twice in a Kings of War tournament before, and certainly not similar builds from the same armies before, or even similar builds from 2 different armies. I don't know. The variety of games you get in Kings of War competitive events is pretty impressive, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think that's only going to increase as well with the Clash of Kings going around. I think we're going to see a lot more different builds. Not only because you've obviously got the halflings being thrown into the mix, but it's just going to be a lot of different options available for every army. Which is going to be nice. And that's what I love about Kings of War, is you can really mess with it, can't you? You can really change things up, and it's not evidently broken one way or the other, so everybody else doesn't take the same thing, but you end up with a lot of variety. I mean, strangely,
especially in the beginning where everyone is trying to figure out new meta, they will throw out new list ideas and test. So we will have a lot of variety, I think, in the beginning, especially.
So Sergey did opt to go for it, and he has thrown his 4 Shamblers and his Tree Herder with Elite into James's Wiltfather here in the top of turn 1.
It's a risk. He's given a flank away to some Forest Shamblers.
He is giving a flank away here. Yep. And the other Tree Herder is also back here and can cast Surge on something if he needs to. But yeah, no, he does just have a straight flank charge set up there.
Have the Stormmen got a flank on that Tree Herder?
I believe they do.
Yeah, they do. You just have to hope the Willfather survives, so you get that Willfather on Willfather action here we're hoping for.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if the Wiltfather dies to a double charge in the top of turn 1 from a Tree Herder and 4 Shamblers, I'll give him a pass on the Wiltfather duel, right? Because that's still pretty awesome.
Sure.
Is there any Bane Chant available?
I think James has Bane Chant on his Standard Bearer back there by the hill. Excuse me, back behind the hill by the pond. But I don't think Sergey's got any Bane Chant in his list. Yeah, because he's only got 9 drops and he's only got Kapoka.
Yep.
That's healing weakness. That's it.
Anti-Bane Chant.
This is the other thing, I mean, interesting about the halflings is that you don't... Bane Chant, which is predominant in so many armies, is not an easy thing to take on them. Because with all the spell ward, I think it's really interesting is that they're going, all right, okay, spell ward means it's really hard to hit them with lightning bolt, but then you're going, well, I can't heal them. There's not much heal available, and there's not much Bane Chant available. It's going to be a different game entirely.
But do they have Radiance of Life available?
Yeah, I mean, that's 1 damage, but that's not...
Yeah, they got Radiance of Life and Iron Resolve, I think, on some units as well.
They do have some Iron Resolve around us, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Sergey is moving Kapoka up to, again, give everything there in the middle phalanx.
But he's gone the full 10 inches as well, hasn't he, with Kapoka?
Yeah.
No, not the full. Is he movement 5 or movement 6? I think he's movement 6, isn't he? But he's basically not casting a spell.
Right. So, yeah, so he can't weakness anything.
Which I think is pretty huge. I think that could make the difference with that Tree Herder. The Wiltfather, sorry.
Yeah. And also, he didn't get the Wiltfather within 6 of any of James's units, so no auto 1 wound Any of that
Is he within
defense 6
6
stuff?
of the tree herder for the vicious?
No.
Is he within 6 of the other tree herder? Oh, jeez.
No, he's not.
This is actually a really interesting move because I don't see how this helps him. He's just. It's gonna give unless he's incredibly lucky. He's gonna struggle to kill that Willfather.
I guess he wanted Capoca in there to get phalanx and everything, but doesn't matter in the flank.
Yeah.
There seems to be a snake being drawn on here as well for some reason.
6, 9, 12. So that's the Stormwind cavalry charge range. So
yeah,
he's
maybe
keeping.
he wants to surge the Forest Shambler forwards to block the Stormwind cavalry charge in the flanks.
Sure, he could do that with the Wolffather.
Beast of Nature. Yeah.
So he can keep the beast out of the charge arc of the Stormwind. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does with his beasts here because he's been very, very aggressive with all of his forest units. And his army is basically just forest units, some ensnarers, and then 3 beasts. So if you're committing all of your tree herders and your forest shamblers immediately, then like your second line, your plan B, your counter punch is all these beasts. So it'll be interesting to see like where he positions them. Maybe he's got like a counterattack planned already, and he knows that this is kind of a reckless opening attack that isn't going to work, and it's meant to draw James forward so he can do some fancy counterpunching with his beast or something. But where he's put that one doesn't seem like it's in a great position to catch a flank on anything.
No, and he's also blocked by the forest, so anything on the right-hand side of the forest is going to be out of his sight. I'd almost be tempted to move him to maybe just the edge of the hill, out of range of both the Silver Breeze and the Stormwind, and just get him ready to fly in, because he'd be in a perfect position to hit a flank if, say, the tree herder goes into those forest shamblers. I mean, what's the chances with a Stormwind cavalry into the flank of a tree herder? You're talking probably about 10 damage, aren't you? Something along those lines. 32, probably about 25 to 26 hits. So yeah, maybe 13 damage or so. He could kill that tree herder with a Stormwind in the flank.
Yeah. They do have Strider boots, so they would have to burn that to do it. But like that's a pretty good use of them. But then at that point, you are in the forest and kind of stuck. Like that would kind of be all the Stormwind does that game, because at that point they'd be in the forest without Pathfinder and kind of surrounded by enemy units.
With phalanx.
well, that's with phalanx, right? I guess that's one way to block a flank charge. But I don't know that I would.
Put the tree herder. The Wiltfather goes back into the tree herder. The forest shamblers go into the forest shamblers, line up,
right,
and then all of a sudden you've got a flank open because you'll just
go forward and turn, slide over. Yeah. But I guess then the beast has a flank on your stuff up close and personal. I don't know. This is very.
A lot of units there.
Yeah, it's very, very aggressive.
It's a good charge the beast with Glade Stalkers if he wants to block them up. Get up.
Yeah.
The Glade Stalkers kind of expensive chaff.
Yeah.
They're gonna get that 1 point of damage, aren't they? Which is what they need, or should get that 1 point of damage. I'll have the word should. So at least he's going to be grounded. But then.
If they can fit though with the flank charge.
Correct. Yeah, that's it. The other thing. I mean, the repercussions of fighting the forest shamblers, you're going to probably back off. This is going ahead a bit. But you're probably going to back off James's ones in the middle, and then that gives you enough space to turn the other ones.
All right. So he's moved his other beast up to be just out of charge range of that Silver Breeze troop in his flank up there.
Hunters of the Wild, I guess.
Or the Hunters of the Wild, 3, 6, 9, 10.
Yeah, they're only moving 5, aren't they, Hunters of the Wild?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they're just out.
So that's interesting. The range of Hunters of the Wild and Silver Breeze is almost exactly the same.
Yep.
Towards that beast.
Yep.
So
Funny.
it's hard to tell who he's trying to stay away from because it's the same,
Mm-hmm.
more or less.
All right. Well,
In this scenario, do you just go, sort of, I'll put the Hunters of the Wild into score and then just move everything else up? Because the Hunters of the Wild, if he can take an advantage by killing one of Sergey's units off the bat, then you're almost going, right, well, I've got unit strength of 3 already in the opposing half. Here comes the surge, I think.
Here comes the surge. Yeah, I would expect this to be a surge roll from the Wolffather. You can just see them. Yep. And they're in range.
That's how you play surge. Just.
Right.
Let's see if you have 6 successes here.
Yeah, I don't know. How much surge does the Wolffather have?
8, I think.
Surge.
8? That's looking for a lot.
4 successes. That's
4
enough, though, for what he needs it to do, I think.
Yeah, that should cover the flank. That should cover the flank.
Just.
Yeah,
By the
that is exactly what he needs.
Tiniest fraction of the inch. It's just enough.
Yep, and that leaves him not enough space to get either that tree herder in with like a surge move, or get the cav in and the Stormwind. Now you got me doing it. The Stormwind is in the front of the Shamblers, and they are still within 6 of Kapoka, so they have failings. All right.
The scary thing is if he'd have been 1 inch one way or the other. I mean, because I think do the Stormwind have the flank of the Forest Shamblers as well, do they? I probably wouldn't go for the Forest Shamblers, would you? Because you'd have the other Forest Shamblers on.
Oh yeah, the other 4 Shamblers, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, somehow
so
we
that
managed to
one
line
there,
them up
that's it.
perfectly with that search.
That is, yeah. I mean,
That's
how many
amazing.
times have you rolled a surge and you needed only 3, and then you get 2, and then you needed you only wanted 3 and you got 6?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Stormwind charging the flank of the other unit of Forest Shamblers?
Yeah, that's what I was
possible.
talking about, but they're covered now. They're covered as well.
They're covered as well, but I'm not certain that they could even see them because they got 2 height 6 things in the way. So they might not have been able to draw a line of sight to the back corner. But it kind of doesn't matter because now they're covered. So, well, this is definitely not the table state that I was expecting to see. I was kind of expecting that they would both scout up to the middle, and I was expecting that Sergey would try to get up and around and threaten flanks and things with these 3 beasts of nature. If you told me that they were going to dive in the middle with all the rest of the units, I'd have been like, no, why would you do that? But that's what he's done. So, all right. So here come the Forest Shamblers on the Wolffather.
Yeah.
That's not a good start.
No, only 6 hits and 2 wounds.
1 with 2 wishes.
And one vicious reroll if he remembers to do it, which he does, and that also wounds. So that's 3. That's vicious aura from the Wolffather, which he's in. And now here's the tree herder getting 6 hits.
No elite rerolls.
Only rerolls, doesn't need them. So that's 4 wounds to start and 2 vicious.
Yep.
No, he's out of the vicious aura.
Just vicious aura.
So that's 7 and a 10. That's 17.
Oh.
That is not enough though, because he's dash 19.
Yep. What is going on?
Those might have been vicious rerolls that he weren't supposed to do.
Yeah, cheeky.
But that will bring us to the bottom of turn 1.
Right. So this has changed the picture slightly. What do? I mean, with the position of some of his units, the Silver Breeze doesn't need to commit this turn. You might be all right trying to get a flank for next turn. I'd be tempted just to put the Tree Herder into the left-hand side, Forest Shamblers. Do the same thing with the Forest Shamblers onto the other Forest Shamblers and Wiltfather up to the other Tree Herder. Well, the Wiltfather might die in the next turn because he doesn't have any heal, does he?
This is our Radiance of Life, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2 extra damage might actually make a difference here.
It might. That's what I mean. Vicious and Elite, even if you're not supposed to have it, is a pretty good combo. Right?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. They're big turns, these first few turns, don't they?
Yeah, let's see. He used 20 minutes on the clock, and it seems to me he forgot to switch.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I just reloaded the page, and it seems fine.
Yeah, I just reminded them because they seemed to have forgotten.
Okay, cool.
Oh, they switched back again. You switched back again. You tell them this. Oh, they go.
They both hit it. Yeah, there we go. There we
A little
go.
bit of table tennis. All right.
All right, so this is it. So Thomas, this is a single elimination tournament. So what happens in the event that a game is a draw?
Right. So to try to prevent draws, I have made a special rule to the ending of the game. So when turn 6, at end of turn 6, if there is a winner, that player actually wins the game. There is no brawl for turn 7. So that's one of the ways to decide it. So they actually got both turn 6 and turn 7 sort of to try to decide the game. So I'm thinking about this because I was making this while the Euro Cup, football cup was running, or soccer to you. So I'm thinking of this
football.
like the 6th turn is the full time, and then the 7th turn is extra time, and roll off to see who wins. If there's still a draw at bottom of 7, it's the penalty shots.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, and it's so they got 2 chances actually to decide the game if there's a winner of bottom of 6 or bottom of 7, and if there's still a draw, they have to roll off to see who wins.
Okay. Have any of the games gone to penalty shots so far?
2 actually. I had to step in at one point, and then one of that game I won the game to the penalty shootout. But that player still on once due to the lucky loser rule, so it didn't matter. And I think Elliot lost his game against Celeste on that roll as well.
Okay.
So they drew at bottom 6 and 7, and they rolled off for seed who win. And also made a little advantage to the guy with the most kill points. He would get +1 to the first roll of the roll-off.
Oh, okay.
At end of game,
Okay.
just to have a little something. So,
Okay.
And if you know anything about football, right, at least penalty shootout is just a gamble. It is just
Yeah.
go.
Right.
I don't know. Somebody's going to win. It could happen either way.
Right.
yeah. And in a cup, you need to find a way to decide the game. And sure, I have a special way in the finale, which I call the Armageddon mode, where they actually keep playing until they both run out of time if they cannot decide the game. So the game could run for 10 turns if the clock allows them. But I could have that for all the games, but I wanted the finale to be something special. So for this one, I tried this. So far, with only one game being decided that way, I don't think it's too bad. I think if I'd run a regular tournament, far more games would have been decided by is there going to be a turn 7 roll-off.
Yes.
All right, so it looks like James has countered. James has countercharged the 4 Shamblers with his Wolf Father, and has countercharged, or rather has charged 4 Shamblers with 4 Shamblers, and has decided to send his other 4 Shamblers into the Beast instead of shuffling the center to the left and taking a flank on the 4 Shamblers with the 4 Shamblers like we thought he might do.
Does the tree
Instead, he's just sort of
flank on James's Wilt Father now as well? Does he get that?
Oh, very hard to tell. Maybe.
He should do, because the percentages of bases that should have been slightly to the left, so he should get a flank on the Wilt Father. I don't know if I like that, because you're running a big risk. Or he's going for the Bane Chant. Was he going to the Bane Chant onto the Beast of Nature one, or was he going for the other one? I think he's going for the Beast of Nature Shamblers.
Sure. And I mean, and kind of an easy way to prevent that from James would have been to charge these 4 Shamblers in first, so they would slide over a bit, and then force these other guys to line up a little further over. Since he wasn't trying to squeeze them into the flank, there was really no reason to do that one last. And we kind of keep everything in the middle squared up so you didn't have to worry about whether any of these guys could get into your flank.
Yeah, he could charge a 3-harder with the 3-harder and 4 shamblers with the storm and cav to protect everything.
Yeah.
But
then the Storming Cavalry are going to be phalanxed, aren't they?
Yeah,
you don't get any benefit.
They will do nothing more than block him up.
Yeah, so at that point, you're like, do I even bother burning my Strider boots, charge into a phalanx unit, or do I save it for later in the game? But at that, like, if you're sending your cav into the middle of all that with all that shit in there, like, why?
Yeah.
I would almost just like leave them over on the flank, let them keep coming down and turn in. Like, I wouldn't even bother sending them in. It's turn 1.
Yeah, it is turn 1 as well, isn't it? Yeah, and it's like, I'd be like, I would almost be tempted to do what he was going to do, what Sergey was tempted to do in the first instance, was put both the Wiltfather and a Tree Herder into the opposing Tree Herder.
Yeah.
But he's less likely because the elite is not there. But
the Cloak of Death is there.
the Cloak of Death is there like it was before. Yeah.
Yeah, but he has a Bane Chant though. But I guess he didn't have reach for the Bane Chant, so it's going there. I'm a bit surprised of how he sold the cav there. I think maybe it would be
he hasn't really
cool
moved
to do
his
the storm with up 9 and then turn 90 towards the forest. Then you flank everything.
He's going to try to Bane Chant the Forest Shamblers, which he has. So the Forest Shamblers that are attacking the Beast over here.
We should keep an eye on the other Forest Shamblers just to see if Bane Chant would have made a difference on them. That would be interesting.
That's a good idea. And now he's shooting Lightning Bolt with Boomstick at this other Beast of Nature down here.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
One that's out of cover.
Yeah. Or actually, the one he can see, the other one's behind a forest, and the middle one is in combat.
The Wiltfather, does he? Let's be honest.
We're right.
Oh, 3 damage.
Hits. Yeah. Is he inspired? Yeah, he is inspired. So it's Beast of Nature are really good. 15-17 nerve is still really good for the points that they have.
Yeah. Now here come the Kindred Glade Stalkers.
What's it talking about? Oh yeah, okay.
5s and 5s to shoot with the Glade Stalkers, I guess. Oh, it should be 4s and 5s because All right, so 2 more damage from
the elves. They can on a 4. What are you talking about? You know, all elves are on a 4, surely.
Yeah. And here come the Silver Breeze.
Target.
Here comes the hate in the chat.
There's 1 more, putting the Beast up to 6. And then I guess Hunters of the Wild are going to shoot. No, we're going to move over here and do the other Silver Breeze on the other Beast. Who just managed to get 1. Oh, that's too bad. So many 4s.
Yeah.
3 4s rolled, but needing 5s. Did the Hunters of the Wild not shoot? Hunters of the Wild shoot, right?
No, that's a melee unit.
Oh, my bad. You're right. And Snake Eyes. Okay. Well, that beast is fine. All right, now on to combats. So we've got, 3 here in the middle. Looks like we're starting here on the end with the Bane Chanted 4 Shamblers on a Beast of Nature in the front. 10 hits. Bane Chanted looking for 3s, right? So that's 8. 2 vicious rerolls, so up to 10, so that's 10 damage.
Oh, that's really good. That's 11 damage in total. Oh,
yeah. 1 from Cloak of Death from Wiltfather, and a 10 roll.
What does Bane Chant make?
Oh, it's dead.
It's dead. That is a good. That's a good pickup.
The Bane Chant added 2 damage.
Yeah,
it made a massive difference, didn't it? Yeah.
It made a difference between Waver and Kill, I think.
It did, yeah. Yeah, the second roll was a 7, so that is
a big pickup. Yeah. I was thinking that was grounding, but at best a Waver, you know.
It's going.
Oh,
so backing up.
Oh, all right. I was half expecting the Wiltfather to go, Jesus, what the hell are they going?
Right. All right, moving over to the other side. So it's going to be his Tree Herder against the Forest Shamblers. 7 hits. There's a vicious reroll, so that's going to be 6 wounds.
Yeah.
Put them up to 7, and they're what? Dash 17.
Yeah.
If he picks
Need
these
10
guys up, that's
twice.
going to be huge.
No, just 5. They're okay. And now here to the double charge in the middle. Wiltfather hitting 6 times, wounding
6 times.
6 times. All right. Go ahead.
Now, let's see if the pain jump would have made a difference on these guys.
Yep. So now the Shamblers. Shambler on Shambler.
12 hits.
12
That's
hits.
good.
Only 4 damage, which would have been 7.
5 with the wishes.
So 12. That's only a 5 twice. It's only a 5.
Yeah.
And it would be down to double once if he had Bane Chant.
Yeah, but that's a 5.
Oh, he Bane Chanted the correct unit.
He did.
Oh.
It's almost like he knew what was right. You know, he knew he was going to roll a 5. That's all he needed. Admittedly, hit 12 times with 18 attacks on a 4. No, you know.
But then it did only 4 damage, or 5. So it averaged it out in the end, I think.
That was a pretty good turn for James. I mean, the big thing is whether he can keep the Wiltfather. So where's the Wiltfather going to go in this instance?
He can just side shift to the left, couldn't he?
I would actually back him up, because if you back him up, he gets out of the... No, because he's...
But then you expose the flank to the Forest Shamblers. The Forest Shamblers flank to the Tree Herder.
Tree Herder. Yeah,
it's true. That is true.
But then again, if he does that, the Wiltfather is safe.
Yeah.
Which probably is more even.
Yeah. There he goes.
And he's backed it up. Okay. And this is an elite Tree Herder. I'll remind everybody. So what are you going to do with them? Probably, I guess, try to turn them so they're in the front of everything. No?
No.
Try to back them up too?
Yeah.
Try to back them up too. But only backs them up 1, so that is still a flank.
Still a flank. It could bring the Wiltfather out. What are the Stormwind looking at? What are the Stormwind able to see?
Let's see. They wouldn't quite be able to see the Tree Herder if they get into the flank of these Forest Shamblers. Their arc does not quite cut that way. And actually, the Wiltfather in the front, they wouldn't be able to see either. They're not quite looking at the right spot there. So but they are threatening the flank of these guys, of these Forest Shamblers.
Yeah. So it's going to be whether he can get enough damage. I mean, he's going to be talking 6 or so damage, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
There, that's going to put him on 14. It's a pretty good shot.
I think he just went into the front of the Tree Herder instead of the flank of the.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I would take that as well, because I think the Wiltfather is the danger.
6, 9, 12. I guess he could get the Wiltfather into the flank of the other Tree Herder.
Oh.
Yeah. I will point out that I'm zoomed in here because Sergey is playing a 9-drop army and he just lost 2. So if you're only seeing 7 drops on the screen at the top of turn 2, that is the whole army.
Don't you want to talk about it? You got like a very non-elite Sylvan army who've got they've got 11 drops, right?
Right. 11 whole drops and he's outdropped them by 2.
This is the entire game.
Yeah.
This is the entire game. What is that? That can't be more than 3 by 5. It's a big turn. It is a big turn. As I said right at the start of this, it could be a very quick game.
It could. Well, I mean, yeah, with so much scout on both sides. I mean, the scout turn was basically turn 1.
And we're talking about, we've just seen a fifth of the army go from Sergey's side.
Yeah.
And 1 unit, 200 points is on 7 damage. You could get healed by Kapoka, which is an option. But it's you got a Stormwind in the flank.
I really I kind of figured we would see James with the kind of fast cavalry options trying to come around the sides, which is kind of why I expected Sergey to keep the beasts back and further into the flanks to counter them so they couldn't do this sort of envelopment that they're doing right now.
Because what's James lost so far? He's taken 8 damage on the Wiltfather.
Yeah, and that's
which is big. He could lose the Wiltfather in the next turn. But what is Sergey going to be able to sacrifice for it. Because there you go. So Beast of Nature is going in here to basically chaff these guys up.
Right.
I think that's
And
what
it's already
we're
got
looking at.
it's already got 6 damage on it from shooting. Yeah, I was about to say, like, sure, he put 8 damage on the Wolf Father, but for that he traded 6 wounds on a beast, 7 wounds on a Forest Shambler, lost a unit of Forest Shamblers, and lost a beast.
Mm. If he thinks he can get the flank on the Tree Herder, then that's going to be quite pivotal. So
Yeah, I mean, it's there.
Tree
And
Herder
it
with a
would
flank
be
on the
solid.
Wolf Father is going to die. That could be huge, and both the James's trees could go down.
Yeah, and he will
Right.
lose his search options.
Yep. He is in range, right? Tree Herder goes 6. Wolf Father goes 6. 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yep. He can get there. It's in the flank. He can see over his unit. He's touching the woods.
Yeah.
So there goes Radiance of Life.
The
Which I
only
guess is-
thing is if he can get there with one pivot.
I think it's going to be possible because there's a decent gap between those, and I'd almost be tempted to back off the Forest Shamblers to allow them in. I'll almost be going, yeah,
Sure.
got it. I'll take a flank from the Wiltfather over Forest Shamblers going in the front.
Yeah. Don't need it.
Yeah, seems good.
And I mean, from where he was, he could just move up, then pivot, then go in like he ought to be able to do. Oh yeah, he can do
It's a
it.
good move. It's a
You
good
do it
move.
there. All right, so that is a flank charge by the Wolf Father on a Tree Herder, and the other Tree Herder with Elite squaring off with the other Wolf Father. You know, it's hot tree on tree action. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cloak of Death as well.
Cloak
So
of Death.
there is a
Yeah.
good chance both the Willfather and Tree Herder from James is going to drop this turn.
And that was
both of Sergey's will be unscathed.
Yep. So that was good use of both auras this time because he did manage to get Radiance of Life from his Tree Herder on both of his wounded units, and then managed to hit 4 enemy units with Cloak of Death. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so now he's moved Kapoka over behind these Forest Shamblers, but left him at a bit of an angle, which I guess to me says he's kind of planning in advance for if he kills this Tree Herder, he can then turn the Forest Shamblers so that the cavalry is all in their front. And Kapoka's kind of already in the right spot, so he's not accidentally pinning himself in or anything.
Like we've all done, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I guess at that point, you just sidestep your Wilt Father up the table an inch to give yourself a little bit of room to turn. And you really, really hope that the Wilt Father behind you has been killed by the Tree Herder and doesn't take your rear with a corkscrew charge next turn.
I like the fact in the chat, Magus thinks this is going to last until turn 4, right?
What's the over-under?
Yeah. If the Willfather of James survives, Forest Jumper could just pull back 1 and charge Tree Herder from Sergey in the flank. That's right. Right. Yeah, it's a lot hanging on in the balance for that one combat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just goes back to show how important that surge was in the last turn. If he hadn't got it exactly right, look at where the Stormwind are now, is that you're turning around and going, well, I can't actually do any damage because everything's got phalanx. And you're going, oh, well, there's not much I can do about that now, is there? You know?
Yep. And so I guess he's just moved this beast. He's just moved this beast, and is that just to prevent a double charge on the Forest Shamblers from both Cav units next turn?
It doesn't do much because they don't want to charge the front. If the Forest Shamblers, he's just protecting the flank of the Forest Shamblers, but I don't even think he's even doing that, is he? The Forest Shamblers are still exposing their flank to the Stormwind, aren't they?
Yeah, they can still just barely fit in there. But I guess he couldn't double charge them in the flank.
No, he couldn't.
So I guess he's kind of hedging his bets there a little bit. But this is a very I don't think I've ever seen anybody use Beasts of Nature as screening chaff before. This is an interesting use of them.
But he's got phalanx, doesn't he? So he's basically going,
Yeah.
those knights aren't going to do anything. And he goes,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I guess it's
And there's-
hedging against if James's tree herder survives.
Right, like if he snakes it or something. All right, that was a heal roll from Kapoka on the Forest Shamblers.
I mean, the
Which
Wilt
between
Father
that,
could easily still flub his attacks. He could get unlucky and get 10 hits and then only do 7 damage, and then the game spins again, doesn't it?
sure. So this is what, Forest Shamblers in the front.
Yep.
9 hits right on
3
average. 3 damage, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a
also
vicious roll, which
average. And then it's the Will Father. Here
Yep.
it comes.
So 20 attacks on 3s we're looking for. And then, 3s and 3s?
Yeah, it should be 10 damage or something.
All right, 13 hits. 10 damage, 1 vicious reroll, which he gets. So that's 11 damage from the Wilt Father, bringing it up to 15.
So anything
that's
but a
a
level 1.
4. So that's a 4 twice. There's a 4. And an 11.
Oh.
So
He's
that will
only
pick up-
18, isn't he, the noble tree herder? So,
Yep.
yeah, but that was it was a good move.
So what
I
will Will
Alright.
Father
didn't
do
see
now?
that. I wasn't looking at seeing where the tree herder was. Didn't see the Wilt Father flank.
Yeah.
But that just
No.
goes to show because James choosing to back up. If he'd have just moved the what they call the forest shamblers and the tree herder to the left,
Yeah.
he could have prevented a flank and also possibly stopped the other tree herder, the Wilt Father, from being flanked, and this would be a very different game. It's well spotted from Sergey. That's a really good move.
Yeah. And this is probably going to be the Wilt Father sidestepping up the table, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or
Okay.
backing up.
Or backing
the
up,
Four Shamblers is backing. Oh, if he's rolling for backing up the Four Shamblers, he made a mistake because he's going to
Yeah.
stop in Kapoka and he's not going to go and get that far.
Although I
It's
guess
still
that
giving
does,
the front though. Yeah.
yeah, that does totally cover the flank, and it covers the flank, gives them only a flank, so they can't charge now.
I don't think so. I think he's.
Double check.
I don't.
Let's wait until he drops it. If he stops on the base and there's just a smidgen in there, you can get the flank onto those forest shamblers.
Yeah, I think he miscalculated that one. Actually,
Yeah, he should have just turned them. Should have just stepped the tree herder sideways out of the way and turned them a bit.
yeah, I think he kind of made a right move with Kapoka and then forgot that the Will Father would be there and block it up as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Don't know what he's doing now. He's hoping that he didn't. He hasn't made a mistake.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's already rolled the dice, so he can't really.
What's he rolling for now?
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. There's your tree herder.
So what was the other dice roll for?
I don't know.
Is he just staying where he is? Ooh. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But if they've made a gentleman's agreement, it's a gentleman's agreement.
Yep. Yep. And those. Okay, so now he just turns ever so slightly, and that puts the. Yeah, that puts the Stormwind in the front, puts the Silver Breeze in the flank, and they're nimble. But I mean, they can draw a line of. Well, maybe they can't draw a line of sight around the beast, and that's
Yeah,
the
they
problem.
can, because can they get the front? Oh no, they can't. No, because the corner of the base is probably just protecting them. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they can see them, they can probably nimble around and hit the bottom side of the flank there. But onto the elite tree herder beating up on James's Wilt Father.
Interesting. Was that
Wait.
4 damage?
4
Four,
damage, yeah.
So that puts him at 13.
It's a 6
Oh.
twice.
So 6 twice,
Let's see what happens.
which is not difficult, but not easy. It's kind of
No,
right in the
I
average
think
range there.
it's
He's very close.
slightly in James's favor, I think.
Was it 7?
Oh, look at that! Massive,
Oh.
massive.
So the tree herder, the wolf father sticks, but I think if he disengages and backs up an inch, he won't be able to see the rear of Sergey's wolf father because he stepped the full 3 inches instead of 2.
And he can't get a cheeky flank into the shamblers either. So
no, probably won't be able to fit
You
through.
have to be satisfied by killing the tree herder.
how could he do? I suppose if he backs off the forest shamblers, yeah, you got a good point. Forest shamblers back up, flanky poos, and jobs again. Although, can they back up? Now, this is the argument. Can they withdraw because they won't end up being over an inch away from the other
unit?
From the other
tree herder.
I don't think they can.
Is that a requirement?
If you read the rules as they are written, you have to be over an inch from every unit after you've done your withdraw. And you have to be over an inch from every unit. Although the other stipulation is that if you start your turn with an inch of another unit, as long as you end your turn further an inch away, then that's fine.
Right.
Oh, not further, equal to or further away. I don't know.
So if he backs straight up, he would still be the same distance, right? If he does the withdraw move,
He would be, but then what takes precedence? That rule, or the fact you always have to be over an inch away when you do withdraw? Because the rule, as it says, you always have to be over an inch from all units to be able to complete the withdraw.
Sure.
Does it?
So does that then allow for being within an inch, that inch rule, or not? I'll be honest, I spend far much time during the day looking at like standards and stuff, and these kind of things happen. Well,
Right.
I think what they've done is they've accepted that they can do it. So that's what's happened.
That's fine. Great.
Or not. Or
You
yes,
are
or not.
you are correct, Sam, that he was not engaged with the tree herder, so he can disengage and withdraw. But I don't think that base size can corkscrew. So
Yeah, it can do.
Oh, it
Yeah,
can.
can it? Okay.
Yeah, the horde can, because it's 120 wide by 80 deep, so that's 20 either side, which is less than an inch.
Okay. Yep.
Us
I can-
Europeans are used to using millimeters and inches rather than just in inches, right?
Right.
Just
I just
saying.
referred to the chart that Britton wrote on the Dash 28 article. If I want to know if it can corkscrew or not, so I don't remember any of them anymore. I just look.
I
it
don't
up
want to
real
argue against Brinton. Quickly, get up the chart now. Go.
All right, so that is going to be
Tally ho, shamblers!
right. Like so, there's a counter charge from the Wolf Father. So there's Cloak of Death going around, and now these guys can take the flank on that beast. Yep, and it's just cascading flank charges all the way down.
How bad do you feel for Sergey after doing, not getting anything really wrong there? I think he did. He got a bit lucky. He got lucky. Okay, so I suppose there's a couple of elements of lucky. He got lucky with the surge. If the surge had gone wrong, that could have had a massive impact.
Mm-hmm.
Because the surge went right, fine. And then he had a massive impact by not killing the Wilt Father in one turn. That's had a big impact in return. He did a good move in getting the other tree herder. And there was a gentleman's agreement on the withdraw stroke pivot. I don't know what you would do now with those Stormwind. Would you still go in on the basis you're going to be hitting on 4s, damaging on 5s?
Or just go across the table and score. Because
the
you've
Stormwind
got
can't though. The Stormwind are going to be. I suppose they could pivot almost 45, almost 90 degrees, sorry, and then move 9. So what they're doing is basically taking themselves out of the game.
Yeah.
But what they also are doing is scoring. And then maybe come back in turn 5 if there's still a game.
Oh, that's right. They've got one use Strider, not Pathfinder, so they can't go all that fast.
Nimble.
And they're also not nimble. Yeah, so they are kind of stuck looking that direction right now. The Silver Breeze could just fuck off though.
Both of them could probably. The only thing that's stopping that is the beast in nature, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think Stormwind have got a good chance of grounding a Beast of Nature, have they? Because they'll be on 5s to hit, won't they? And they don't have any Thunderous. So that's 5s and 5s is 7 attacks.
Silverbeard hit on 4s and are not elite in melee. Yeah. So yeah, they are just opting to head to Score Town rather than come
I
back
do
here
like
and
this.
threaten
It's like, we're not going to chaff. We're too good for chaffing. See you later. Bye.
Right. If beasts of nature are what count for chaff in this game, we're out of here. I'm filing a complaint.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going down to my DMV. Right.
I'm gonna go talk to the manager.
What's going on here? Do you know how many points we cost? Yes, that's right. See, I like this. Like Sergey's used this though. I've never used. It's a very good option. It's a very good option using these little drawing tools to then work out where unit ranges are.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I don't do this in real life with like a marker pen and just be like, let me just go back to the table and go, well, there's loads of black marks on it. But I do like the fact that James has just gone, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do that as well.
I would do that too, yeah.
You could get markers that can be wiped off though, like those whiteboard markers.
Will they
yeah,
come
if you're
off grass though, or vinyl?
well, if you're playing on a vinyl map, then yeah, you just go around with a bottle of Windex after every game, just wipe it off. You have to make sure that they bring the right kind of markers that wipe off and not like
Yeah.
Sharpies.
Yeah. Because I played a bit of War Machine, and then everyone was using those because they had to record the damage on the unit cards. Then they had those in plastic envelopes. So and then just wiped off after every game.
That's cool. I think if I were the TO and I was going to go that route, I would make that like the tournament swag that I gave everyone was a marker that I knew would wipe off the maps. It'd be like, these are the only markers you guys are allowed to have in the room. Put everything else in your bag and leave it there.
Yeah. What happens is you set a dangerous precedent, though, don't you? So you go, because the first time around, people are going, oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. I love that. That's great. And because they've only got one hold of one marker, nobody brings a marker pen with them. It's the next tournament, and they go, I've got a marker pen. This should be fine, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you pretty much have to give the pin out every tournament. Like that's got to be the thing that you buy. You buy a box.
This is the tournament I was allowed to bring marker pens. I just used a marker pen, right?
Right.
This just happens to have Sharpie written on the side of it.
Right. You have to have the two boxes at the TO table right there. You're like, any pins you have on you, you put in this box, and you take one of these, and that's it. You can get it back at the end of the weekend.
So what's going on in the chat? We've got a couple of we've got Sam and Magus having a conversation over here. Magus does have a point. The 2 extra non-vicious damage points from the wilty. Remember the previous turn where he stretched the range of his aura.
Yeah.
Cheers, Sam. I wouldn't know anything about internationally shipping whiskey, as that is highly illegal and certainly not something I would ever do for people who signed up for a free UB tournament that I was running.
That doesn't sound like anybody would ever do such a thing.
Such a thing. No, it's
There's
crazy.
no proof. There's no proof.
No proof. And I certainly don't have a bottle of it sitting right there. Anyway, so it looks like he has opted to go in basically just to try to ground the beast, right? Like you're not really expecting to do much there. And you've got a Wildfather in your flank.
He's not used the boots, and I'll be honest, I would have... No, because he doesn't need to use the boots, because it's either Phalanx or Hindrance. Good point. It's well played.
So now we've seen Beasts of Nature used as chaff, and now Stormwind Cavalry Regiment is going in as chaff.
Yeah.
Would we call the Stormwind thick chaff at this point?
I call it the thickest chaff, right? If you're going to lay 2 bits of chaff down on the table, Stormwind will win, right?
Stormwind will win.
Unless you're going to go, well, I raise your Stormwind and use a Lohi Horde as...
Or a Beast of Nature with Phalanx.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So now he's focusing all the shooting on the Horde. Fire Oil, they do have regen because they are ensnared, so they regen on 4 up. So hey, Fire Oil working, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Didn't roll any ones, so no.
That's not bad,
but
actually. 10 damage.
it's
Although
10 damage.
the regen is gonna hurt.
Yeah. Here comes
the
the
fireroll
probably
worked
Bane
because
Chant.
he rolled 2 2s, which is from the fireroll.
Yeah, it's 5 points well spent. No, he's failed with the Bane Chant.
No Bane
This could
Chant.
be huge. This could be huge. Womp womp. 19, one shy on the Ensnare Horde.
Yep. So we'll see how much they regen of that, whether Kapoka feels like it needs to heal them. This is the bottom of turn 2.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So all these guys are movement 9. No, they're all movement 6, my friend.
Basically, the whole army scouted. Like the scout move was turn 1. So actually, this is like the bottom of 3, which is still that's a lot.
4 damage from the Stormwind. Could get,
not
could get a
bad.
lucky waver.
On the
Lucky
beast over
waver.
here. I mean, that definitely grounds him. So
yeah, that's true. That is not a lucky waver.
7 now. So he is okay, but so okay. And now we're moving to double charge on this tree herder. So
First,
Father in the front.
Father. Okay.
Yep. There's your Wolf
That's not a
Father.
bad start.
2 vicious rolls.
Yeah, it's a
6 damage.
6 damage, sorry, 6 damage.
So it puts it 7 total though. And then the non-Bane chanted in the flank. 16 hits.
Lucky the rolls. 5
Only
damage, though.
5.
5 damage. But
Would have only gained him 1. Would have only gained him
another
1.
2, so 7. Right.
Okay.
Because of the
And there's
vicious.
another 4. There's another 4 that would have been. So it's 2 that the Bane chant cost him.
2
Yeah.
the Bane Jack lost him. What is he on?
So
He's
that's-
on 12, 13.
7 is not to kill. Oh.
5.
7 is a kill, 13, and 5 is the kill because it's not the Wilt Father, is it?
No, it's not the Wolf Father. That's
I'm
the
a
tree
bit
herder.
unsure with all those damage hanging around. If he's not dying, it is due to the failed Bane chant.
No, he's got him.
Okay.
He has
But
got
he
him.
gets him anyway.
That is.
He gets him anyway. But the 2 damage, the 2 additional damage from Bane chant would have put him on snakes though.
Yep.
All right. So what do you do?
What's going on
Sidestep. Sidestep. Yep. And then turn your Wolf Father to look at the back of the other Wolf Father. Now we see the Wolf Father stand off. Yay!
No, because the Wilt Father's going to hit the storm anyway.
Yeah, well, sure. But then when he reforms, the other Wolf Father will still be looking at him.
I don't know. Actually, I'd almost be tempted in this instance to just move the Wilt Father by just spinning him around, and then try put the Forest Shamblers into the flank if they can fit.
Ooh, double 3s rolled for nerve on the beast,
That's enough.
which still get him.
Wow.
He did 8 damage, and he had on 6. Yeah, just. Sorry, literally, guys.
And he was just barely inspired there. I think that'll bring us to the end.
Wow.
Are the just out of interest, are the ensnarers in the flank of that Forest Shamblers at the top there?
Yes, and they have range.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Can they fit through there though?
Not at the moment, but there is going to be some movement in a second.
There is. All right.
So what does he do? Do he want to turn the Forest Shamblers around?
Look,
and
even
charge
they
Wolf
think
Father?
it's turn 3. Look at them. They're going, oh yeah, it's so good, turn 3. Oh, it is turn 3.
It is actually true.
Oh,
Do you think it's possible for Sergey to get the Forest Shambler in position to be surged into the Wilt Father?
I don't know. I'd have to see it. UB, the beauty of UB is accurate. So until you actually try it, you don't know. But there is a chance. You'd have to turn pretty much somewhere between 75 to 90 degrees to kind of get it in.
Yep.
Because that piece of nature is going to grind down that Stormwind Cav. So it doesn't really need the Forest Shambler and Wilt Father in there.
Yeah, I think he could get it there. I think he could get it there, and he probably only need 2 inches of surge, maybe 3, to get it in. Don't know. Kind kind of depends on which way he wants to go. Like this is like at this point, Sergey's in a very difficult position, regardless of how the combats end up, because they are playing invade, and the elves have 3, 6, 7, like 8 unit strength, just kind of hanging out, waiting to turn and walk across the table while they shoot his horde to death.
That is true.
So Sergey, might be doing a good job of doing some peace trading here in the middle, but he started 2 drops short. Not sure what he's doing here. He's moved the Willfather out of the way. So now he's trying to... Now you can't quite see them, so you can't search them.
But he can move him a bit less to the side, I guess. But now he's well within 1 inch of Willfather with a Force Shambler. So
yeah, so he's got to back up. But that'll be a front charge, not a flank charge.
Yeah, but the Willfather is already on 13 damage.
Yeah, I guess that's
should
true.
be maybe 1 more after the other Willfather moves.
Yeah.
So there really is not much left needed.
Because Capote doesn't have Surge, does he? No, he's only got Heal and Weakness.
Yeah, he have to move his Willfather a bit less up. So I think that's what he's going to do now. The undoing.
Yeah.
So I go away and nothing's actually happened. What you just twiddled your thumbs? Right? Come on, guys! Right?
Yeah, he's thinking about it. And that suggests that he's just going to go on. Okay.
You look at the timer now, and he's probably spent. You've spent more time in the first turn than he's done in the second turn. In the third turn, probably even a fraction of that again.
Yeah, definitely. I think he used almost or something like 20 minutes on the first turn.
He did, yeah, and he's used 15 minutes so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Magas has got a very good point. What is the unit strength left on Sergey's side?
Yeah, we just discussed that when you were gone, I think, or before. Anyway,
he's got nine left on the table, I think, and the elves have about that much, just sort of standing around.
Just standing around.
Yeah, and so there was the
guys,
regen roll.
We're done for the game.
And he took off half of the wounds with the regen roll on the horde, on the ensnare horde, bumped him back down to 5 from 10. So that's nice and average. Nice to see that.
Yeah, but he's going to kill that other horde, isn't he?
They have Hammer of Measure Force, so that should be 50 to 12 damage or something.
That's 12.5 damage, isn't it? Because you're looking at 25 hits.
Yep.
And that's going to put them on double ones. And then it's a choice then. I think what you do in that instance is you continue to march down the every other unit and start pinging wounds, don't you, where you can. The Beast of Nature might go on a hunt and try and take some unit strength, but by doing so, he is putting his unit strength in the other half. So,
but I'm not sure how he's going to get his ensnare horde away from getting a flank charge from the Shambler horde next turn.
Because even if he withdraws, he's got an issue, hasn't he? And he can't. He might be able to turn enough just where he is at this point in time to expose a front to the Shambler horde. But then would you then be tempted just to slide them sideways and then surge in so that you do get the flank? Because on top of that, you could also then shoot them and then surge in.
Yeah. Wouldn't you rather charge in with Willfather than surge?
No, because the Willfather can still be there and be another block that you have to go and kill. Because he doesn't do that much in the front, because he's only on 4s to hit in the front with 10 attacks, whereas in the flank they'll be on 4s to hit with 36 attacks.
Right. Because of the ensnare.
Yeah. So that was the heal roll from Kapoka, only taking 1 more off of the ensnare horde, Now here's your snare horde on the flank. 25 hits, right on average.
Yeah, bang, bang. Ooh, 15.
And 15, slightly more than average, which will definitely put those guys on snakes.
Compared to 9, I mean, look at the difference. 9 to 15, and 9 would have killed him, and they would have killed him, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But
So what's it going to do? I guess it will try to pivot, but if can it be enough?
Pivot.
That's the
Pivot as much as you can. Try to get everything in the front. And these Hunters of the Wild, which are actually a combat unit, not a shooting unit like I thought they were for half the game, are still just kind of hanging out over here, having done nothing but just slowly made their way across the board. So I guess it's possible that like he might accidentally expose a flank of this horde to them, and they might sneak in. Yeah, if they can fit or make it 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, they're probably out of range.
they're only moving at 5 as well. The Hunters.
Oh, they
Do you
are.
think they want a TO decision here if that's a front or flank, since he's pointing at it?
Well, the best way to do that is to drop in a can't really 80 mil base.
I guess it's maybe that's why they tried to drop in the blue thing, because if you could try to center that one and then you center the spot.
Yeah.
The best way to do it is get a flank of another horde and then put them up against it, and then you're
Yeah.
oh no, it's
Sure.
60, isn't it? Not 80. No, it's 60.
Well, if you put the center of the 3-inch one exactly where the line goes through, you can then put the ruler across the front of the unit and see where it measures up.
Well, we'll see what they've decided in a minute.
Yeah. So there's your Wiltfather into the flank, 14 hits and
14 damage, and that's a double 1.
sure.
What? Oh yeah.
Yep. Not inspired. Don't bother rolling anything else.
Yeah.
You're on the clock. Don't need to waste time.
Yeah.
I
they
think
got-
at this point both players should have enough time to finish the game.
Yeah.
Well, you've still got half the game to go. I mean,
Yeah, true.
he's
But they
used
don't
over half his
have,
time.
They also
don't
have less than half the number of pieces left. Or maybe not less. About half the
Right.
pieces left.
A good question to you. Do you think this move towards both these guys are going for tree herders and forest shamblers is basically a £1,000 package essentially in this? Do you think that is the most optimal use, or do you think it's just a circumstance that they both ended up playing each other in this way?
What do you mean, optimal use of 1,000 points?
Optimal use of 1,000 points.
I mean, I think it's a solid battle group, right? And you can take it in multiple armies. So yeah, it's sort of like a formation that doesn't need an additional bonus to get people to take it, right? Like the Wiltfather upgrade is already kind of the sort of upgrade you would expect to get, or bump you would expect to get in taking a formation, right? And it gives vicious to all of these units if you take them. Yeah, I mean, I think that since you can take it in multiple armies and people do take it in multiple armies, I think that shows that is a really, really good, solid, efficient use of those points.
I mean, the Wiltfather, it's always a burning contention for me because he is 300 points, isn't he? And then you go, well, he's only movement 6, but then he gets the Scout. The Scout really does make a big difference on him.
Yeah. You can get so much board control. And then things like push and loot and stuff, you can just go there and tow the tokens.
Oh, look at this. He's gone. So obviously they worked it out that he goes in the front. So 5 to hit with the...
Yeah, but that means these guys can then fit in the flank.
But then would it not be better to shoot him and then surge in? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't...
No, because you can put the Wiltfather in too, and otherwise the Wiltfather would have to stand back.
But the Wiltfather's only 5... Well, he hits on 4s, doesn't he? Because of the ensnare.
Yeah, but he's the unit that's going to hit on 4s. The other ones will hit on 5s. And the Glade Stalkers also hit on 4s, but they have Elite in the flank, and they have Pathfinder, so that's going to be 20 attacks on 4s.
4s and
then
3s.
And they wound on 3s, yeah, because they're defense 3. So I think just massive attacks.
They have fire oil, so they win on 2s.
Oh, you're right. They do have fire.
Are they the fire oil ones? Are
They are.
They are.
They
Yeah.
are
But it is. I mean, as Magus points out, they are basically saying, well, that's 3 unit strength that they can now be hit by forest shamblers and by a beast of nature.
Sure.
But then I suppose what he's doing is saying, well, I'm going to reduce you down to 5 unit strength, and I've got 5 unit strength already on the other side of the table.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's a bit risky to not have the Glade Stalker inside inspiring range of the ASB, because Willfather is probably going to die, and then the Glade Stalker is no longer as inspired.
He still has to put something into the Willfather for it to happen. His biggest...
the Beast could do it at this point, don't you think?
The Beast could do it? Can the Willfather hit the Glade Stalkers?
Yes.
Yeah. He could probably also sneak into the flank of the Forest Shamblers, depending on how
if they reform, then that's not a big issue. But this is also wondering if they can get the reform or not, doesn't it?
Yep.
So if
Forest Shamblers are probably key. He needs to take 1 more unit out on the left-hand side.
If the ensnares survive, the Willfather can go past the other Willfather to get in the Forest Shambler's flank.
No, I think he's trying to shoot something else. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yeah, he's trying to see if he can shoot the Forest Shamblers. Yeah.
Whether he's going to get cover or not.
Not cover, I guess, but to see if he can see past the forest.
Yeah, to see them at all.
Has he already moved the wizard, has he?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe not. There you go. Handy drawings once again.
Seems like you should be able to draw a line of sight there.
Yeah. Or maybe he's asking that so he knows where he needs to move. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you go. To ignore cover, 8 lightning bolt is still nothing to sniff at, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think he can ignore cover because the
intervening Forest Shamblers.
No, the Forest Shamblers, it is a very good point. Yeah.
It was just about being able to draw a line of sight to be able to shoot at all.
But if this was 2nd edition, he could ignore cover.
Stop living in the past, Thomas. Right?
Okay,
going
and now
into COP 2022. Come on, right?
There we go. And now the ASB is in position to inspire both the Glade Stalkers and the Forest Shamblers, in addition to the Willfather being able to do it. So,
Hunter of the Wilds are moving to score.
So
it's what, two damage?
It's not nothing. It all adds up, doesn't it? Oh, he's going for the Beast of Nature. Oh,
okay.
Oh,
all right.
Nice.
Hey. All right. Oh, sure, because the guys at the bottom can shoot him too. Sure.
Interesting.
Beast of Nature break on what? 17? Yeah, 15, 17 nerve.
No damage from the guys at the bottom. I don't think those guys can see, can they? Come on. Let's be honest, James.
No, probably not.
They will shoot at Kapoka, as just individual stealthy and cover.
Yeah. So like Kapoka, is he defense 5? Isn't he Kapoka as well? No, defense 4. Yeah. Worth a shot.
He's just a special druid. That's all. All right, nerve roll on this beast. Looking for a 10. That's an 11.
Oh, is that no? It's too much. Too much.
He's inspired.
He'd have taken a waiver. He'd have taken a waiver.
So it'll be exciting to see if this goes down.
Did he Bane chant the Glade Stalkers? Did he manage to do
that? No. I think he's just wounded on 3s, so he's just taking it.
Glade Stalkers are wounding on 2s with the fire oil, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're already wounding on 2s. So everything wounds on 2s. There's no point in Bane chanting. Yep.
Yeah.
Good old fire oil. Coming in handy for once.
That was another 9 from the Gladestalkers.
Yeah. Right, it's 5 to hit with these guys in the front. Oh, still average. It's on average.
So 5, 6 more damage.
6
Up
more.
to 20. So I guess
he's on the double ones.
Yeah.
On the double ones.
See if he bothers rolling the Wilt Fathers. Sure, why not?
It does. Yeah.
And re-roll that one.
When
So
you got a
there's
Wilt
6 more.
Father, roll for the Wilt Father.
Sure. So there's 6 more, which.
Sorry,
And then there's
Tilt
an error.
Father. I'm going with it. Tilt Father.
Yeah, there you go.
And that'll pick him up. Yep.
So what do you do now?
I mean, you don't have to do a whole heck of a lot because you've got more unit strength across than Sergey has left on the table, right? Or is it? No, it's tied.
It's tied at the moment. Yeah.
So
Depends if
Sergey
he sees the flank onto those forest shamblers. One thing I've noticed about playing games in real life now, so we've been playing games in real life for a good couple of months, is missing the fact that you have automatic angles. It's huge. Because you start to go, so I actually have to put these things down to work it out. What are you talking about? No, I've got to measure distances. I don't want to do that. Just press a button.
Right.
But,
I need more laser pointers. I need 6 laser pointers to set up on those stands around the table to see everything.
Yeah, and who is not going to miss the undo button?
Oh God!
You've completely forgotten about those little markers that you had as well, just to make sure you know where the unit was going to be, everything.
Another use of the Sharpie on the table.
Another use of the shot. Oh my God! Look at this, Wiltfather. Look at him. He's going. Come on then, charge me in the flank. All right. That is the double finger. Come on.
Yeah, I guess it was to maybe to turn the 4 shamblers so they wouldn't get flanked.
Yeah. I guess if you're doing the preserve the unit strength kind of math, figure the Wilt Father's going to die anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sidestep him, surely. Sidestep him.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they also prevent a double charge on 4 shamblers from Wilt Father and the 4 shamblers.
That's a good point. Yeah, it does cut down the angle on there. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
If he's seen that, that's a very good move. That is a very good move.
And
although he could have done that by anyway. Yeah.
He's got his Kindred Gladestalkers in prime position to counterpunch.
Yes.
Ooh.
No, but they got fire oil. They're trees. I mean, that surely that counts.
It works. It works.
I mean, unfortunately, the way that the rules work in Kings of War as well is that you get Pathfinder on lava, despite the fact you're a tree, right? I completely ignore lava. I don't think you do, buddy. I think you'll notice that you are combustible material.
Yeah, Sam. Pretty much at this point, I think if he shoots down the tree, then that'll be shoots down the beast. Then that's the game.
Yeah, there's no way Wilt Father or the 4 Shambler is going to get those troops left to do. He's leaving the scoring zone, so.
Yep.
You say that, but there's still 3 turns to go.
And a half an hour plus on the clocks.
I mean, Kapoka's got he's still got heal. I mean, he could heal back the Beast of Nature. I mean, Forest Shamblers into the Gladestalkers. Wiltfather into the is it Wiltfather, isn't it? It's left. Is there 2 Wiltfathers?
Yeah, they have paused the clock, so I guess they have a little break.
Sergey's gone for vodka, so
half game break here at turn 4.
Yeah.
So we were talking about getting back to playing in person. Have you guys done any in-person gaming recently?
Yeah. Luckily, in the UK, we've been back since the 17th of May, and so our local game store has opened up, and we've been able to play some games and local. And also, we've had a tournament as well. So we've had a tournament already, which is really good. But you're all a bit rusty. It's just the way it works, doesn't it? It's not just like the muscles that you normally use to move miniatures around have slowly depreciated, apart from your mouse hand. Everything else just goes.
Right.
But it's been quite nice. How about you?
I have. I haven't played a tournament yet, but I ran a one-day tournament like a month and a half ago now at this point. Yeah, like mid-June. And I've been playing locally, like weekly with some local guys. And I've got events coming up. There's a one day in a couple of weeks I might go to, and then like Crossroads towards the end of September, which I'm looking forward to. Hopefully things will still be in good enough condition for me to go. We'll see how the numbers look as we get closer, I guess.
I mean, not to be political or anything, but America seems to have got themselves sorted in terms of vaccinations. So are you double jabbed now, are you?
I am, but I wouldn't say that America's gotten itself sorted. The people that know how to sort themselves have sorted themselves, and the people who refuse to sort themselves are still refusing to sort themselves. So we're actually at the upswing of another wave, because at the time that the vaccinations became available, the CDC changed their guidance to say, if you've been vaccinated, you can stop wearing masks in indoor places. And so everyone stopped wearing masks, because the people who don't want to get vaccinated also never wanted to have to wear masks in the first place. So now everyone's pretending like the pandemic is over, and it's not. We're about to get slammed by it again. So, yay.
Yeah, I'm still being super careful, so I haven't played a live game since it's about a year ago. It was a tournament.
Okay.
We had a tournament at the beginning of fall last year, before we got the second wave of COVID. We just managed to get in one tournament.
Yeah, it is kind of fun.
Twitch now, are you? You're just going like that. I can just imagine Thomas is going. Real life, just need to get back to it.
Need to roll the dice.
Roll some dice.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, sad, but also interesting to watch the axiom of those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. But to watch it on like a 6-month time scale instead of like a many-year time scale, like, you guys forget how it was like this time last year? What the hell? Yeah. Anyway,
memories are short.
In Norway, they managed to repeat the mistake several times. I guess every time they open up for international travel, we are hit by another wave. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to Norway. Don't lie, Thomas. You know. Right?
There are a lot of Norwegians eager to get out of Norway.
I was about to say, it's not people coming in; it's they all leave and then come back. All right, so it looks like he is going in the front with his 4 Shamblers, and he is taking the flank with his Wiltfather.
Get our Wiltfather and Wiltfather action.
We do, and it's a flank charge on one that's already mostly dead. Oh well, I'll take it. Whatever.
This is almost a form of porn, isn't it? We're just going, yeah, do it, go on.
Double Wilt Daddy.
Who's your daddy?
But now it looks like the beast of nature has nothing to do.
Right. Except fly away, score, and try not to die. But since it's a single elimination tournament, there's really no point in trying to take a small loss, right?
No. And this is the thing. I've always been tempted. I mean, as we all know, you press the beast of nature, and all of a sudden the attacks and wings are added to your beast of nature without doing anything. They just go, "Oh, good wings. Where did they come from?" I'm tempted to go like, what is it worth to take 15 points to take a breath attack, a vicious, 10-shot breath attack? It'd be really useful at this point, because you'd probably be able to hit those silver breeze and still be safe as such.
Yeah. You could fly into the flank of one and breathe on it. Yeah.
Well, you can stand in the front of it because silver breeze charging him is going, yeah, whatever, mate. Right? What you talking about? Charging me?
No, I'd be more worried about the other ones being able to see to shoot you. So I'd try to land somewhere where the other ones couldn't shoot me. Well, it doesn't matter. He's hiding it behind the trees.
In that situation, surely you just charge the front of the other tree herder, don't you? You just go,
right. I'm getting in on this. No.
I would roll let's be honest. He could roll like 2 hits, and then roll.
Leave it pure. Leave it just Wiltfather on Wiltfather. No help, no nothing. Tree to tree.
Yeah, daddy to daddy.
Daddy to daddy.
No, that doesn't quite work. No.
I wonder if I made some Wiltfather pun shirts. If anyone would buy one.
Yeah. Turtle daddy action, right?
They just double won it. They just doubled won it. How dare they?
What do you mean? How dare they? I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, they got to save the clock time. Right?
It's a good chance. Now I just got, and you go back to the t-shirts. I mean, I think the one thing is it can be slightly less pornographic. So it's going to be wilt daddy, which are two words that don't really correspond to, particularly pornographic, do they? Let's be honest.
No. Would you be willing to wear it to work? I guess there's a question. If you work someplace where you're allowed to wear t-shirts,
could you take the pizza Jesus and wear that at work? Then yes, right?
Well, sure, but I worked at tech companies where like there was no dress code, right? Like if you're clothed, like then right, like shorts, flip flops, and a hoodie totally counts as
as long as you're not
Bay Area
exposing
formal attire,
any genitalia, then you're fine, right?
You're pretty much fine. Yeah.
T-shirt was see-through vest top. That's fine, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
you never tested that.
when a large portion of your office goes to Burning Man, and so they show up the day before they leave, and what they're going to wear at Burning Man, you stop worrying about things like that. It's like, okay, this is happening. Fine, whatever.
I mean, you can't really equate that to the same thing. The fact that you can wear the same stuff to work as you can wear to Burning Man. I mean, surely that is like the most relaxed workout. Although the pandemic has helped. I mean, I go into work in jeans and a t-shirt all the time now because there's nobody there.
Yeah,
so
you still go in. Yeah, I read a complaint one time that somebody said, of a Bay Area tech company. I would never work there. It's too corporate. You're not allowed to bring your dog to the office.
Oh, bloody hell. I mean, have we all been to an office where they've had a dog in and it just smells like dog, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Smells like dog.
I'd struggle to go to a tournament where they're allowed dogs in, let alone work.
Yeah. I'm allergic to dogs, so of course I'd be like, no, you can't bring a dog here. Like I have to breathe while I'm here. That sucks. All right, so we have moved on to the bottom of turn 4.
The Wilt Daddy died. No.
The Wilt Daddy did die, and now
I don't know why he's
doing
this with the silver. I don't know why he's doing this with the.
He's going to try to shoot the beast to death. I think he's moving them up to shoot at the beast.
If he charges those Glade Stalkers into the for fuck's sake. He's just
now Bane chant them.
He's got damaged drunk, hasn't he? He's just literally just gone, yeah, Glade Stalkers can do them in a flank. They've already done the ensnarers. And they go, hang on, you're made of bark rather than soft, gooey flesh.
Well, Hunters of the Wild technically win the game at this point. Yeah, if he kills those forest shamblers, then the game's over. Yeah. Even having moved stuff back, even if because I think the troops are still technically in the scoring area.
They are, but Kapoku could kill one of those. Can he? What's Kapoku got? No, Kapoku can't kill one of them. I just looked at his attacks and gone, that's no attacks. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's it. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm completely wrong.
All right, so there's just 1 damage on the beast. And now here's some shots from Silver Breeze.
3 more.
3. There you go.
All right. What's been 9?
8 twice. Has he got lightning bolt as well? Is that going to come? Has he done that? He's just proving how much of the unit he can see.
I think he did the lightning. Yeah, he did the lightning bolt first.
Oh,
so now
sorry. This is the unit. Yeah. So no damage from them.
All right.
The waiver is good at this point.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't think it matters if that unit
Probably
dies.
not.
Actually, good point. If that unit dies. Oh, standard barrel loot cheating.
Can cast.
This has been a gentleman's game, though. Let's be honest. This has been very much a gentleman's game. I don't think this has actually been anywhere where there's been too much contention.
Yeah.
No, they seem to have been pretty relaxed about.
Yeah, forgiving
things.
Which is the way to play Kings of War, isn't it? Let's be honest. You can't. I don't think either of them have an argument. They've both done things and said, "No, that's fine."
Yeah, unless they have been shouting at each other in the messenger chats.
Yeah, that's true. They come back on and they just got like angry faces. Or the loser doesn't turn up, that kind of thing.
No, I think both are really good sportsmen. I have at least played James several times, and we already had very even, very close games all the times, and been very good games. I haven't played Sergey, but
no, I haven't played Sergey. I
think
didn't want to play Sergey because he's a good player. He did well in the tournament he organised, didn't he? I can't remember what it's called now. But the team
Lords
tournament,
of the
which
North?
I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the team tournament because that just.
Oh, yeah.
What's he doing now?
What was that? 12.
He rolled a 7 to kill him, and then a 12 to kill him. So yeah, the beast of nature's gone.
Yeah.
Or wayward.
Oh, what did he roll? No, 7 plus 9 is 16. So he is wayward. Yeah.
He's just wayward, right? No reroll. So that 12 didn't actually count for anything. That 1 in 5 was Bane Chant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 in 5 rolled there was Bane Chant for the Blade Stalkers.
Beast of Nature wavering is quite key. If it does come to you can't kill that Forest Shambler horde. So the guys in the front. Oh, only one! Oh, fucking hell! Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's down to the Glade Stalkers. The Glade Stalkers. I mean, it was only 4 damage. Oh, there you go. 13 hits.
Reroll an 8.
8 damage.
It's going to put him on 11, so that's what, 6 twice?
It's not a guarantee.
So is Bane Chant gonna cut it? Bane Chant's gonna make the difference.
He used the Bane Chant on the right unit. Let's be honest. He would have been no use whatsoever on those Forest Shamblers.
It would be one
bottom 2 more.
Oh, he's got it just. Oh,
6 twice. All right.
Oh.
And that is pretty much going to wrap it up.
Teasing you, though, isn't it? That's just going, I've got a chance. I've got. Oh, no.
That's a second unit killed by Bane Chant.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, because without those 2 Bane Chant wounds, he would not have gotten.
Yeah, and in the same instance, the fact the Forest Shamblers only did 1 damage,
Yeah.
4s and 4s when they should do somewhere between, I suppose, 3 and 6 damage is probably the kind of like the curve essentially. So
look now, he's putting his flank to the beasts because it's wayward.
Yeah, that is another double finger up, isn't it? Let's go. Go on, then.
And hiding the archers behind Shamblers. Like, it doesn't matter. You've already got more unit strength across than he's got on the table, man. But sure, fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about this game is as long as you win, so in the tournament, as long as you win, you win. It doesn't matter how much you win by.
Yep. So that's going to bring us to top of 5. I don't know if Sergey's the kind of player that at this point just says good game, or if he goes ahead and tries to kill some things. Okay, there it is.
There we go.
It's going to call it. It's going to call it. Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, you could give it to him.
Yeah.
Well, did we get finished by 9 o'clock? No, 10. Oh.
Yeah.
It's only because we got delayed, didn't we? That was. So come on, what that? Before they come back in, although we can probably talk about when they come back in. I mean, what were the turning points for you?
Oh shit.
That. All right. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it was
the Wilt Father surviving on James's side is the turning point for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead and take that out.
All right, James.
Hello, everyone. Did you enjoy the game?
Oh,
It
yes.
was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. I mean, it was a quick game.
Yeah.
It was. You always thought it was going to be.
I did try to make things clear, which I hopefully made things clear to the audience.
It worked perfectly fine.
Mm.
I mean, the drawing on the tabletop was actually quite interesting. We were working out whether in real life we could use markers on vinyl tabletop, and Sergey with I'd never thought about using those markers to mark out like ranges and stuff.
It's really useful, actually. When you on tabletop use dice, it's actually really useful. A lot more useful than using the tape measures.
very good.
Yeah, it's a good idea. All right, so thanks so much for letting us watch that game, guys. That was fun. Congrats, James, on the win. Sergey,
Yes.
my condolences on a rough loss, but a very very well played game out of both of you. Did we have any questions, guys? Where we're trying to think back to like what the turning points of the game was. So I guess we can just start with James. What are your general thoughts on how the game went? Like, is that kind of how you expected it to go, or did he throw any curves at you?
I think, like the whole grand scheme of the game kind of went how expected. So the beasts were flying around, the trees were in the centre. One thing I nearly forgot was the what's the character called? One of Gear's phalanx. I forgot it had scout, but to be honest,
Capote,
I thought it would probably move around quite a lot anyway. And I didn't get to charge my knights in the way they wanted to charge. I didn't expect to, when he charged my Wiltfather, I didn't expect him to do that because quite a lot of things could have gone wrong, I felt there. And if he didn't surge the Forest Shamblers enough, that could have been the flank charge on Tree Herder, were my thoughts. But I think we both gave each other a good game.
I think so, yeah. And Sergey, we thought it was really interesting the way you were using your Beasts of Nature basically to like screen your units and cover. Most people like fly around and try to get flanks and things. Is that like your normal play style with the beasts?
Yes, maybe I needed to play more aggressively, but in my opinion, the key moment was when my 3-herder plus 4 shamblers couldn't kill Wildfather with 13 wounds. I checked; they should take about 15 or 16 damage, but nerf roll 1-2 ruined my plans, and I lost 3-herder. I lost 1 horde of 4 shamblers, and it really ruined my game. So good game. I congratulate James with nice game and good victory. Bravo.
Thank you for the game, Sergey, and thank you all for being wonderful, despite the technical issues we had at the start.
Yeah, no problem.
We managed to fill. We just put halflings in front and just went, halflings. Yeah. We'll talk about those for a bit.
Did you guys have any other questions for the players? We were thinking about like you guys played very very cleanly and very clearly. So I don't think we had a lot of questions about like why did you do this or what were you trying to accomplish there. I don't know. We were having trouble.
And it was very close. It was really close. And I think that it was so important. The first couple of turns were really key. And I think there was a really nice move getting the Wiltfather into the flank of the Tree Herder. And I think Sergey, you just missed out on just killing. If you'd have killed the Wiltfather as well, I think it'd have been a very different game. But just not getting that Wiltfather in that turn was huge because him surviving and getting the 3, as you say, really changed the game from being in your advantage and not. It just shows the margins when you guys are using such elite armies. You just get one thing go wrong for you, it can have a massive impact, can't it?
Yeah, that's true. I think. It's very interesting you had 3 Beasts of Nature actually in your army, and I thought, given the fact you went to the quarterfinals, you must have done something right with your army, so it must be a very interesting game. It was not going to be a walkover, it was going to be a kind of whoever won would have to have a tough game to win.
Yeah, but still, it happens.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was good and close. It was well played. Yeah, just that one kind of pivotal, not quite breaking him, but in the flank charge with the Wiltfather into the Tree Herder was a good one of those good kind of long charges that you don't often notice. So that I thought was a pretty good move. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Yes, it was.
It's kind of strange watching 2 units that have so much of their armies that scout because like it was like the top of turn 2, and we were looking at the board like, how is this the top of turn 2? This is mid game already, right? You guys definitely both just came out swinging. So
I did like the scout moves as well. I did like the because you guys didn't just go straight for the wood. We were all going, oh yeah, everybody goes for the wood, and that's going to win the game. But you played very cagey around it, which was quite interesting. Do you guys have much experience playing against other armies with lots of scout in it, or is that the kind of first time round? What was your kind of thought on that?
Second or third time really, but mostly I'm the one who scout. I kind of think, because I got Hunters of the Wild and 4 Shamblers, if both of us have scout, I could just go like, yeah, I'm nudging my Glaystalkers forwards a bit and then make my opponent not get pressed.
my phone's ringing.
Oh, my mum's going swinging.
Okay,
Put yourself on mute. We can ask Sergey.
there we go. I get it. There we go. Go ahead, Sergey.
Okay. Yes, for me it was the first game with so much heavy combat scouts because I mostly played with Glade Stalkers, with some shooting scouts, but both 3 Herders and 4 Shamblers are good, are nice combat units. So much.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about how like mirror matches
and
in
so
Kings of War
much
aren't something to see very often.
combat units with possible charge on the first turn is quite interesting. It depends on who wins the roll for the first turn, I guess.
Yes, we looked at that. That was the big scout roll and the big first turn roll, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Scout's been really useful. I played against Empire of Dust, who had a really shooting list, lots of Enslaved Guardian Archers, and I basically could move my scouts forwards, and I had first turn, I basically moved within charge range. With a normal army, I'd have got shot quite a lot.
Nope. I think we lost Sergey.
Here we go.
That's all right.
Anyway.
I'm happy. I mean, I think that was a good game. Really enjoyed it. And you probably watch it back and go, oh, yeah. And it was a bit up and down, which was nice. It's always good to have a game like that.
It would be interesting. It's probably useful to do that because I think, because you're not playing, you don't have the pressures of the game. So you actually can see things from a fresh perspective, whilst I'm in the middle of the game. So it's easy to make mistakes or not see things that I can see from the spectator. I've done it like when I watch people on mini wargaming, I'm like, you don't do that. But if I'm actually on there doing it on camera, I probably have a different perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
And I kind of forgot I was actually being filmed halfway through, I think. So I think I didn't really feel pressure from it.
That's good. Yeah. We try to leave people alone and let you forget about it. You know, sometimes it's a little awkward to play when you feel like people are looking over your shoulder. You know, it's a little bit like, you know, when you're playing on like top table at a tournament and towards the end, as other people finish up, like this crowd kind of starts gathering around you to watch your game, and you're like, all right, well now I got to make sure I'm doing all my stuff correctly because I got an audience and all that. So yeah,
doesn't happen to me very often. So I'll go with your experience there, Mike.
Okay.
Often I finish my game before other people do. I remember going in tournaments, I actually finished my game and then I would actually go to other tables. Sometimes higher tables, but usually lower tables.
James, you're the ones who are causing the pressure. That's what it is. It's you, like, you know, leering over other people. Like, oh, I don't want to do that. Ooh.
Yeah. You go to touch a unit, and people turn to start whispering. And you're like, what? Should I not move this one? What? Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, guys, for letting us watch your game. I know it's got to be getting late for you guys. It's only 5:00 in the afternoon for me. So I'd like to thank you guys again for letting us check out your game. I'd like to thank Thomas and John for hanging out with me, and thank everybody at home for watching. We're probably going to have a few more games from the later rounds of the King's Cup tournament, so keep your eyes open for that. And if we get enough folks lined up, we might do like a demo game of the new Halfling list, either maybe this weekend or sometime next week. So keep your eyes open for that. Maybe we'll have that for you. Otherwise, thanks again for watching. Until next time, I'm your host, Mike Atkins, saying you stay safe out there, and we will see you next time on Dash 28 Live. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
See you later.
Right.